Hey guys, I wanted to do a 2024 kind of wrap up review. It's been a pretty fun, interesting, challenging year, as I'm sure it has been for most people trying to build something. This is my third year in America. I live in Florida. I did live in LA for around a year. I originally came over to the States with Cloud Kitchens. That's how I got here, went into consulting and now started my own business. Been doing that for almost 2 years and trying to live the American dream, which is, believe it or not, alive and well. So trying to build something. Still the best place to make money, America, compared to any other country. I had this conversation the other day. It's really hard to make money in America. Yeah, it's hard, but everywhere else is harder. So the American dream is truly alive and well. I use this time typically between Christmas and New Year's to set goals, 2025 planning. Obviously, business is a huge part of that. Financials a huge part of that, but health, wellness, personal goals that I have, learning, education. So I have them in a few different categories, and honestly, it's one of my favorite times of the year because it just solidifies everything you're going to focus on, at least for the first 2 quarters of 2025. Have to keep it fluid. Things change, as we know, but it's a very good time for reflection. Now, I haven't done this exercise yet. I'm going to do it over the next few days, but initially, I hit my growth goal for the business, 40% year-on-year growth, which is great. I'm going to try and, run that back for 2025. Hopefully that happens. That's what I'm planning for. So fingers crossed, a lot of hard work ahead. I want to build a little bit more in public. So videos like this, just me talking to a camera, basically explaining what's working, what's not, what my plans are, what's happening with hiring, with GTM stuff. So a little bit more building in public you'll see from me in 2025 about me working on the business, not just like client stuff or successes there. I also want to do these 5-minute sort of GTM quick snapshot videos. So this could be something to do with tech stack. It could be a campaign we ran that was successful, type of wording and messaging, configurations, email stuff, like whatever it is, just a 5-minute go-to-market quick breakdown. You'll see a bit of a series on that. Then I think I'm going to lean in a little bit heavier on case studies as well. I mean, that's real world examples, social proof. I have a whole bunch of case studies on my website. Maybe I do some video case studies if I can get clients to do that. So yeah, that will be industry specific content as well. Kind of the, I guess, first iteration of these building in public videos is right now. So 2025's pretty ambitious. I wanted to talk through 2 changes, tests that I'm running at the moment in terms of my own service offering. So I started the business very, very tight on an ideal customer profile. So I only spoke to founders of B2B SaaS companies from about pre-seed through to Series A. That's the scrappy stage. That's the stage where no one knows what's going on in terms of sales. That's testing, iterating, validating, figuring out go-to-market. That's that stage. I've had success there. I've helped over 10 companies now expand into the US and a few more, handful on the side with general sales help. Where I'm now evolving to is into, let's bucket these 2 categories of the original plan with the seed through to Series A is a very hands-on kind of outsourced VP of sales, fractional sales, whatever you want to call it, consultant, where it's very done for you. I do everything, right? Me and my team do everything. Where I'm evolving to now and where I see a need in the market is going up slightly in terms of funding stage and size of startup. So Series B through to, I'm not sure on this 100%, but Series D, Series E, just, a heavy amount of funding, probably in the hundreds of millions of dollars. These companies, I think, could benefit from the scrappiness that we've done in this early stage companies setting up sales infrastructure, setting up automations. A lot of these Series B, Series D companies have done the scrappiness and done that. And now they really need to consolidate their automations and their sales tech and their tooling, reporting, integrations, all that stuff. So I'm going to move up market slightly in 2025 and expand my own customer profile. I'm going to start targeting Series B through to Series D, E, F, whatever. Companies who've raised a lot of money and are now looking to really automate, consolidate their sales technology and process. So that's going to be interesting. It's not going to be a done for you service where I take it on, because these guys have a sales team. They've got revenue ops, they've got sales ops, whatever we want to call it. They are now looking typically for optimization and knowledge, essentially. So that will be a very done with you service, more of an enablement type service where I'm speaking to either founders, depending on the company, revenue teams, VPs of sales, those job titles, essentially sales ops, where they want to improve a process. Great. Here's how I think we should do it. And I enable them to do that, train the team, train the AEs, and get them to, hit the ground running. So that's one area. The other area I'm expanding to is on the services side. So right now I've typically focused and worked with founders of B2B product or SaaS startups, right? Every B2B company needs sales efforts. Every company needs sales, but every B2B company needs go-to-market efforts. They typically have the same channels: email, LinkedIn, cold calling, note dropping, whatever it is, right? So I'm expanding to other agencies, other consultants who may need help with things like lead generation, LinkedIn automation, email infrastructure setup, all that sort of stuff. Again, this will be on more of a enablement basis. So, mentorship, enabling themselves or their sales team, appointment setters and things like that to be more effective. So 2 different routes. Very excited about both. My offering in those 2 spaces has slightly changed. So it's going to be interesting to see if that scales out and how that's all going to work. So that's my challenge for 2025. One other lever I can pull as well that I have done a few of is more of a proof of concept phase. So I talk to founders a lot about making an irresistible offer that people can't say no to. I tried this myself and am still trying this with a proof of concept model where instead of, hey, let's talk, let's see if we're the right fit, let's run discovery, make sure you're the right fit for me, you test me, you talk to an old customer or whatever it might be, and then boom, there's a contract. I've gone a slightly lower barrier to entry path where much, much smaller fee, like 10x smaller fee, just to test one campaign, make sure we can work together, make sure I can, generate interest for you and get your ICP on calls, and then expand over time. So then we talk about a bigger engagement. We obviously trust each other now, all that stuff. So slightly different route to market. Instead of big contract, it's small contract, work up. It seems to be having relatively good success as well. So those are really the 2 key areas I'm focused on to scale this out in 2025. I have a team of 3 people. I am looking to obviously grow that quite significantly. So 2025, I'm hoping is the year for that. And given I'm on this, content journey, I would say, which I've wanted to do for a while, I've just never had a big enough reason to. Given I'm on this journey, I obviously use this content in my own outreach. I have a lot of assets now that I share with customers. I say, hey, look at what I did for this fintech organization, if it's a fintech company, right? But this has led to higher conversions already. Obviously, quite a decent amount of interest on LinkedIn. I've had inbound leads, which didn't exist for my business before. It was all outbound efforts, leveraging existing relationships, which of course I still do. But, if this is super successful and I have a content engine that generates inbound leads all the time consistently, potentially that's another service offering that I'm looking at for clients. So that's the benefit of this stuff. It's you try more things, you learn. If it works and you're a service provider, why not, productize it and monetize? So again, ramping up content in 2025. Hopefully it's valuable. Hopefully you learn something. Hopefully you get to know me a little bit. So if we ever do speak, you're coming in with, a little bit of pre-knowledge on who I am and what I'm about. So I wish everyone the best for 2025 and hopefully everyone crushes.